Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jordan Hardgrave and I specialize in helping people overcome anxiety and trauma using a body-based approach. So today we're going to be diving into a topic that's becoming more and more prevalent, health anxiety. Whether you've heard of it before or if you're just now learning about it, understanding health anxiety is crucial, especially if you or someone you love may be experiencing it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the top 5 warning signs of health anxiety that you should never ignore. By recognizing these signs early, you can take steps to address the anxiety before it becomes overwhelming. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's define what health anxiety actually is. So health anxiety, also known as hypochondria or illness anxiety disorder, is when someone is excessively worried about having or developing a serious illness. This worry can consume your thoughts, interfere with daily activities, and make life extremely difficult. Everybody's concerned with their health, but with health anxiety, it's not just a general concern with your health, it is an all-consuming fear about your health that really starts to impact your daily life. What's important to understand about health anxiety is that this anxiety about your health even persists after the medical tests come back as normal. The doctors have said, hey, there's nothing wrong, but you're still extremely anxious about your health. I dealt with severe health anxiety for well over a decade, and it wreaked absolute havoc on my life. My mom struggled with it for over 20 years, but we are both now free of it. It is something that you can overcome, but it is extremely difficult to deal with. So now that we have an understanding of what health anxiety is, let's get into what the warning signs are. The first warning sign is constantly checking your symptoms. This can include frequently touching or examining parts of your body for lumps, checking your pulse, or even monitoring your temperature multiple times a day. And as we mentioned, while it's natural to be concerned about your health, people with health anxiety often take it to the extreme. And they might check the same symptom over and over again, hoping for reassurance, but never really finding it. If you find yourself doing this often, it could be a sign that your concern has crossed the line into health anxiety. The second sign is frequent doctor visits with no clear diagnosis. So people with health anxiety often visit multiple doctors hoping to find an explanation for their symptoms. But even when the tests come back normal, the anxiety doesn't go away. Instead, it might lead to more doctor's visits, different specialists, or even unnecessary medical procedures. Their mind is telling them the doctor must have missed something. Why would I be this anxious if there wasn't actually something going on? So if you've been to several doctors over and over and over again without any conclusive results and you feel like something must be wrong, the doctors must have missed something, health anxiety could be the underlying cause of this. Next up is obsessive internet searching, often called cyberchondria. I used to do this all the time. I would look at Google images of some sort of, bump that I had or just something that I was experiencing, and it would usually be like the worst case scenario, and it really, really freaked me out. But cyberchondria is when you can't stop Googling your symptoms. You look to good old Dr. Google, which is going to absolutely terrify you because Google is going to usually pull up medical websites that are going to list out every potential cause of your symptom. This is why you should never try to self-diagnose. Make sure to see a doctor because your brain, whenever you're in an anxious state, is going to be drawn to the catastrophic scenario. And so you might see a list of things that are really not that bad, but that one thing on that list that's really catastrophic, your brain's going to tell you, oh, that's me. I'm experiencing that. So you're looking up different conditions or reading about potential diseases, and it becomes all consuming. And in an attempt to get reassurance that you're not experiencing this catastrophic health scenario can actually backfire on you because you're exposed to these worst case scenarios and actually make you feel a lot worse. It's definitely good to be informed, but spending hours searching online can do more harm than good. And again, don't self-diagnose, make sure to see a doctor. So if this does sound familiar to you, it might be time to step back and assess whether these searches are helping or hurting your mental health, and also whether or not you may be struggling with severe health anxiety. The fourth warning sign is avoiding certain situations because of health fears. This could mean skipping social events, avoiding public places, or even steering clear of certain foods, all because you're worried about getting sick or aggravating a perceived health issue. When anxiety starts dictating your behavior and limiting your life, it's a sign that it's time to seek help because this is probably not just a general concern with your health. This is now health anxiety. Finally, the fifth sign is constantly seeking reassurance from others. This can mean frequently asking family members, friends, or doctors for their opinions on your health. You might find yourself asking questions like, does this look normal? Or do you think I'm okay? I know for me, my aunt's a doctor. I used to call her up all the time and I would tell her my symptoms, especially the fear of dying of a heart attack. I would get that reassurance and it would calm me for a little bit. But because I wasn't dealing with the root, it basically made it to where I just had to keep seeking reassurance over and over again. And she probably got pretty tired of me, but she was so nice. This can really take its toll on your relationships and it keeps you trapped in what I call the health anxiety loop, which is where you feel anxious about your health. You seek reassurance. You may or may not get that reassurance, but let's say you do, calms you temporarily, but then there's some sort of trigger with your health, makes you anxious, and then you just keep seeking reassurance because you're never actually dealing with the root. If you're trapped in this health anxiety loop, just like I was for so many years, it might be a sign that you are struggling with severe health anxiety, and this is far beyond just general concerns about your health. So what should you do if these signs sound all too familiar? So the first step is acknowledgement of what you're experiencing. And I know that it may be embarrassing. It's hard to accept that you're dealing with health anxiety. Maybe even people have made you feel weak for it. They were like, oh, you're just such a hypochondriac, or, they've almost used that term as a derogatory term, or they see it as just like a weakness, right? Like, just stop. They oversimplify it. They make it appear as if all you need to do is just use logic. But what they don't understand is when you're in these severe states of anxiety, the logical part of your brain, your thinking brain, starts to shut down, the prefrontal cortex. And so this response isn't based on logic, it's based upon fear. And it feels like you're actually dying. It feels like your health is in jeopardy, even though there's no evidence. So the person, say a loved one or a friend, they come to you being Mr. or Mrs. Logic, like, hey, there's no signs of this. You've been to the doctor. Like, why are you so afraid? But they're thinking about it from their perspective. They don't understand what's happening in your nervous system is making this feel as real as if there were an actual catastrophic health issue. So don't feel any shame. It happened to me. It happened to my mom for over 20 years. And although we were free, this was a significant part of our life. And it didn't represent us being weak or stupid or broken or anything like that. It just happens to people sometimes. So if you would like to apply to work one-on-one with me to help you overcome health anxiety, there's a link to an application below. We'll take a look at your situation. We'll make sure that we can help. There's some people that it's just not the best fit for us for different reasons. So we do have to ask some questions, but we'll do everything we can to help you. But regardless of whether it's with us or not, make sure that you get some help with this and just know that you can heal from this. If you found this video helpful, make sure to click like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. The only way that these videos are going to get out there is if I have your help. So that would really help me out if you want to do that. I will be posting a lot more videos about health anxiety. This is a symptom set that I've been helping people with for many years now, but I haven't been as vocal about it as I probably should be. And I'm going to start doing more videos on this to help you guys out. And I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you real soon.